Welcome back, everybody, for Game 2, RMU OSU Gray. Jordan, what did we just witness?
We just witnessed probably the biggest upset in the conference this year. This is the first time OSU's been held under 75 points or 70 points in a conference game this year, and RMU only allowed 62.
64.
Or 60.
They're fixing the scoreboard.
Oh,
right
I'm sorry.
now.
Numbers are changing on me. 64 in this game.
Regardless, which, funny enough, is RMU's average points allowed to the dot.
Yeah. Great defensive display on both ends today, holding both teams under 70. RMU able to eke out the win there. Bristol icing it there at the last couple of seconds with those clutch free throws.
Yeah, we were talking during the intermission. With the way that game was going, if there was anyone you wanted at the line when it came down to it, it was going to be Jaden Bristol, because he was money from the stripe in Game 1. And that's what it came down to. And he made it happen when it mattered most to help seal that win for RMU.
Yeah, and he's able to come away with double digits off of that. RMU had 4 players in double digits, and OSU, every single player on their team had points, and with Diop with 15 and Nusay with 13 here. Great display of basketball on both sides here. Hopefully this second game is just as good as the first.
If it is even half as good as it, we'll still be in for a good game. As the tip-off goes to OSU, Close knocks it back to, I believe that's Ross Cottenham, sorry. Diop bringing it down the floor for the Buckeyes. Here comes Schulman, over to Close, back to Schulman. Schulman trying to get something set up, not liking what he sees right now. Jones making the long run across the court there as Close picks it down low to Cottenham, and nowhere to go with it, but steps back, misses the shot. Williams with the rebound. Nice defensive start there for the Colonials.
Yeah, once again, a great defensive stop and another big miss by OSU as layups becoming another problem right off the start.
Solomon went for the three, couldn't get it to fall, and here comes Schulman the other way. Diop, that went in. I don't know if Fontaine got his finger on it or not.
I think Fontaine may have gotten a little bit, but that didn't stop it at all. He got all net on that.
Yeah, he did, and actually may have course-corrected it for the better if he did get a hand on it. Cross now driving the lane, goes in for the easy layup. No one covering down low, and they'll cut that lead immediately 3-2.
Yeah, off to another tight start on both ends here. Only a few minutes in, but it looks like defense and offense is going to be a big factor here.
Schulman looking for it after the I keep telling you, dude, Fontaine plays as much defensive back as he does basketball, dude.
Yeah, a little
just
bit
a night play to get in front of that ball. He said, nope, that's not getting by me, and Fontaine just punched it out of the way.
Putting a little bit of messy moves on there.
Schulman went for the three, didn't get it to go. Fontaine with the rebound, and he'll bring it up. Long pass to Keith Franklin for the lay-in and the foul. Big-time play from Keith Franklin to get this one going.
That is absolutely big. That was monstrous right there. A big, nice two-step in with the layup and the one. Massive. Franklin didn't have any points. He might be taking Charles's place here as the big guy for RMU in this second game.
Well, I mean, Charles put in a lot of work in that first game. We'll see if they'll have Keith Franklin play a bit more minutes here in Game 2. One thing I have seen in the couple home games that we've watched for the Colonials, Coach Williams is really good at player management as far as workload. You know, like he's not afraid to put players in if he thinks someone needs a rest, because he can trust those players to still perform and do what they need to do. And that is why in that last game of everyone on the roster, everyone, for the most part, got into some part of the action. And it looks like the refs are talking something over here. Don't exactly know what's going on, but it seems to be quite the discussion at the moment between the coaches, the refs, and the timing and scoring table.
I think they're talking about maybe some of the rosters out here. Some of the numbers were a little different here. In the previous game, Charles was actually 33.
I could have swore he was 55. No.
He in last week. Last week in Xavier.
Last week, yes.
He was 33, and now they've switched. Franklin is now back in the roster, and he's 33, and Charles has taken 55.
I wonder if that's where they're discussing. This is Franklin's first points now.
Yeah, this is Franklin's first minutes, I think, in this entire game, in this entire series.
He had a few in Game 1, I think in the first half, but he wasn't in for super long. I think he might have been in for about 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't think he got on the scoreboard, so maybe that was the problem. Not entirely sure, but it looks like the refs are walking back now, so maybe they figured out whatever the issue was.
Yeah, I think they're good to go. They're going to give them a little bit of a pseudo timeout. Not really much to discuss. They're only a minute and a half in.
Yeah. It's enough time, though, for Elijah Cross to do a little meet and greet with some of those in the stands today, saying hello, thanking them for coming out. As Franklin looks like he's going to be returning to the free throw line here to try and net the and one.
RMU up 4-3 right now. This is the first foul of the game here on either side.
RMU not interested in any rebound opportunities, I guess, as all four Colonials back behind midcourt. As Franklin shot up and good. Didn't even need to worry about it. Jones bringing it down. Feeds it over to Schulman, who will try and get things set up for the Buckeyes. Jones now. Over to Cottenham. Back over to Jones.
Saw a little jumping jack out of Fontaine there trying to block the pass.
Yeah, he's been really active on defense. He's willing to use all of his limbs to try and get in front of that ball. As that ball gets poked away, Diop still holds on to it, though. Nice little handles there, but doesn't find much room past Solomon. As Jones goes for three and gets it to fall. Nice shot there from Thomas Jones.
Yeah, great shot right there. They're picking up 2 threes so far out of OSU.
Cross over to Franklin. Dishes it out to Fontaine, who tries driving the lane and doesn't fall. And they're going to say it was a travel anyway.
Oh, if that would have went in, that would have been absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, it was a travel, but great effort there by Fontaine.
Yeah, you can tell he is working hard out there at the start of game 2. Diop tries throwing it down the Cottenham, just barely receives that, and I think they're going to call a reach-in on Keith Franklin.
They're going to call it on Elijah Cross on the reach-in there.
Must have caught it on the other side where I wasn't looking. I was so focused on Franklin trying to go over the top.
And they're going to be a throw-in by number 15, Schulman.
Loose ball down low. Williams takes it away from Ross Cottenham, then feeds out the Fontaine with a bit more room.
Seems like these guys on both sides are doing a little bit more jumping than they were. Gotten a little lively here in the second game.
About to say, it almost seems like playing a game of basketball has left them more energized as Cross nails the three-pointer.
Absolutely beautiful. Cross. That is 3 threes already in this game. Both teams had trouble with it in the first game, and it seems like they have figured it out.
Yeah, maybe they're thinking it takes a little less effort to try and drive the lane every time when you can start making it from distance and not have to worry about the contact. Schulman with a long pass to the corner to Jones, who receives it. It is covered well by Cross. Back out to Diop, over to Schulman. Cottenham for three, off the rim and out. Colonial zone defense doing a really good job protecting that, protecting the inside on that opportunity. Cross looking for somewhere to go with it, gives it to Fontaine. Mari Fontaine back out the Cross for three, off the backboard and away. I think he might have gotten a little contact there from Cottenham, but no call. As Cottenham can't hold on to the ball, here comes Cross the other way on the fast break. Looking what he wants to do with it. Tries driving the lane, gets the lay-in to go. He is so good down low when he's twisting around to know exactly where he is in relation to the net.
Yeah, absolutely great on both. Getting down low, getting high. An absolutely beautiful little jumper there by Schulman.
Yeah, nice little play there. It was nice from close as well. He knew the double team was on him, so he found the open man in Schulman, who just put in a nice little floater. Cross thought about a really deep three, but then elected against it. Instead, trying to drive the lane. Gets in there, gets it to go. Schulman can't believe it. But Cross is feeling it right now.
Cross is on fire. He's got 9 points in 5 minutes already in this game.
Close, turnaround two, can't get it to go. Franklin with the rebound, the Cross. He's got Solomon, but it's swatted away by Close. Cross saw the same pass attempt I did, and then we were both disappointed when it got swatted away. Anyway, Diop from the corner, off the rim and out. They go tumbling down to the floor, and a little bit of floor ball is Keith Franklin with a punishing block. I think they're going to call it a foul, but regardless, big-time block from Keith Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin running in from the corner there to throw the block. keep them from getting the easy two. Let's see if they can get these free throws here.
Ross Cottonham with an opportunity to cut it to a 2-point game. First shot up and good. Colonials loading up the box, trying to get this rebound. Fontaine, the only one not on the key there. As the second shot from Cottonham is up and good. Ross Cottonham not feeling the free throw blues here in game 2 that everyone was experiencing in game 1. As Solomon tries driving the lane, and I think they're going to call
a foul.
On number 10, that's going to be Nicholas Close of OSU. Is that a weird thought? I think it's Close. Nah, it's definitely Close, right?
It's got to be Close. There's no way it's Close. It had that little dash over the E if it was Close.
You're right. As Fontaine, the big-time catch, as Diop is just hounding him. I don't know how that wasn't a foul. They finally blow the whistle on, was it Ahmed Diop?
Yeah.
I'm amazed it took that long to blow the whistle. It was like it was trying to tackle him.
Yeah, big play by, who was that, Fontaine?
Yeah, Fontaine with not only being able to hold on to the ball, but then being able to recollect himself and make a drive for the lane, drawing the foul.
Yeah, and he was down there at midcourt, and he was lucky. Big skilled play there to keep the ball from being a backcourt violation.
As Fontaine draws the foul there, this time against number 34, that's going to be Ross Cottonham down low. I tell you what, Fontaine may not have a ton of points so far this afternoon, but everywhere else on the floor he's been showing up.
Yeah, he has been putting his body on the line here, jumping around, blocking balls with kicks.
First shot off the mark.
Keeping the ball on his side, forcing fouls. OSU's already got 4 fouls in this half. 3 came in the last 2 minutes here.
OSU making a complete change of their bench. Diop, Cottonham, and Schulman off. That's going to be Usa, Greening, and Felicity back on for the Buckeyes.
Fontaine here trying to make it a 3-point game with this one.
Lines it up. And the second shot is up and good. Nice shot there from Mari Fontaine. And he's going to be subbed off here for Marquise Scott Ford after the free throw. Sullivan, DeJuan Williams, Marquise Scott Ford, Jaden Bristol, and Keith Franklin on the floor right now for the RMU Colonials. As Close will feed the pass back to Felicity. Doesn't know what to do with it, so he fires it back to Close. He goes for the 3, and it gets in. Nice shot from Nicholas Close. Tie game here, just about 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, great threes all around on both sides here. You're going to see somebody on RMU get some new points here, as nobody that's on the court currently has points.
Solon went for 3, couldn't get it to land. Here comes Uso the other way. Looked about pulling up, decided against it as Jones goes for the 3 instead, off the rim and out. Close gets the rebound. Back to Jones for the lay-in. Can't get it to go either. And that ball swatted out off of the Buckeyes.
Yeah, off of Jones's hands there. Solomon's going to throw it into Bristol here for RMU. Let's see if they can take the lead back here after they tied it up 13-13.
Jaden Bristol trying to drive the lane. I think they're gonna call the foul there on Thomas Jones. He just was all over Bristol when Bristol tried making the move.
Yeah. He got a little bit of help there from Franklin, though, throwing it into Jones there, not giving Jones much of a place to move to throw that block.
Regardless, still RMU's ball, as a tough screen or a tough pick there from Williams. Doesn't quite get the rebound as Nicholas Close ends up coming down with it. You can tell the physicality's picking up from even as physical as game 1 was. There is really going to be some solid impacts on the court. Not always what you want to see when there's still this much time to go in a game.
Yeah.
Felicity for a deep 3 off the rim and out. Franklin can't bring down the rebound, though, and it goes to Close down low.
Yeah, nice work by Close there to get his hands in there and prevent that defensive rebound by RMU.
Jones for 3, and he rattles it around, and it goes in. 16-13 now. RMU, after having a slight lead in this one, now finds themselves behind for, I believe, the first time since the opening part of this game. And it looks like Coach Taylor Williams will be calling a timeout here. 12:53 we've got on the game clock here. 16-13 the score. Well, so far it looks like we're going to be in for another barn burner, Jordan.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's going to be a 3 extravaganza for this one. OSU's already got 3. RMU's already got 2 or 3 as well. Much more than they had in the first half of the last game, and we're only 7 minutes in.
Yeah, both teams taking a different approach to this one than we saw in the first one. I wonder if it's because both teams were having trouble down low, especially Ohio State, having a lot of troubles down low in game 1. Maybe they've tried pivoting and said, all right, well, if we can't get the ones down low to go, maybe we'll try from the perimeter. And so far, it seems to be working for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and shooting threes might be the way for them to win this, and because going in deep, going inside the paint has not worked well for them on offense or defense, especially on defense. They've already gotten 5 fouls.
And I think, honestly, a game that spends more time down in the paint, the longer this goes on, will favor the Colonials just because they'll have fresher people out there because they have the ability to substitute more people.
Yeah. I mean, when you're RMU and you have an entire line plus 1 sitting on your bench and OSU's got 3, that's a major advantage for RMU in a game of physicality.
Absolutely. Jaden Bristol now looking to get something set up potentially to either cut into this lead or tie the game for the Colonials. Looking to make a pass left, decides to just drop it off to Williams instead. DeJuan Williams tosses it to Franklin with some wide open space to run. Gives it back to Scott Ford. Marquise Scott Ford looking for some room. Tries making a move, goes inside, floats it up, can't get it to go.
Nice move by him there. There wasn't much you were going to do. If he had to put the foot down there, I think that would have been a travel. So you take the off shot there.
Nicholas Close went deep from 3, couldn't get it to go. Scott Ford on the rebound, and he'll bring it back up for RMU. Drives it down low to Sullivan, who takes a jumper from the free throw line. Can't get it to go, though. Robert Morris is having some troubles getting baskets to go right now, Jordan.
Yeah, they're having shot trouble right now, and just airballs that one by Usay.
And everyone's favorite bleachers coming in to lend a seat to Gabriel Greening there. Maybe not the most comfortable landing, but it did catch him.
Yeah. You got to be dangerous down here on this end. There's bleachers along the entire sideline on this. Careful you don't hit the railings.
Yeah, no, he was good. He found himself in one of the spectator seating areas as Jaden Bristol will toss it over to Scott Ford. Marquise Scott Ford wide to Mari Fontaine. Looks to make a move, drives in, thinks against it. Backs out, gives it back over to Bristol. Bristol driving the lane, lays it up. Oh, can't get it to go. Nice opportunity from Jaden Bristol, though, to even get down there.
Yeah, nice work getting inside the paint there. Just couldn't connect with the hoop, but
Felicity for Ohio State. Gives it over to Gabriel Greening. Over to Usa. Rezi Usa trying to find room. Tosses it up. Mid-range jumpers up and good.
yeah, and there's not much Bristol could have done about that. Usa's just got the height on him.
Not only that, it was just a really clean-looking shot. Those mid-range jumpers can be difficult, especially when you're pivoting like that, but he made it look real easy there.
Yeah.
Scott Ford looking for room. Tosses it out to Williams. Drops it back for Fontaine, who thinks about what he wants to do with it. Tries cutting double team, doesn't work, and now here comes a fast break opportunity for Ohio State. Shot is up and no good. Rebound, though, by Nicholas Close. Nicholas Close has been a beast on the offensive boards. He tries driving the lane, gets it to go. He's looked real sharp in this one as he got the rebound there and then makes it happen down at the bucket. OSU has opened up their biggest lead of the afternoon, not only in this game but in the other game as well. It's a 7-point advantage, 20-13.
Yeah, 7-point lead. We've seen those slip away twice for RMU in the first game, so we'll see if OSU is able to hold this one.
Speaking of slipping away, RMU's possession right there going by the wayside as Scott Ford couldn't quite keep it in bounds when he was driving the lane. So just like that, we're almost halfway through the first half. And we'll have to see how RMU answers here because we know Ohio State was capable of coming back from these higher single-point deficits. We'll have to see if the Colonials are capable of the same here.
Yeah. We haven't really seen much of RMU on the comeback side here.
Nice job from Bristol to throw off the timing of that shot, but OSU gets the rebound. Usa looking to drive the lane, and he will. Shot is up, no good. Elijah Cross with the rebound. Cross has had the hot hand for RMU and will probably be looking to do more of the same here. Feeds it over to Bristol. Down the Fontaine for the corner three. Off the rim and out. Rebound goes up, picked up by OSU. Trying the fast break now with USA. Gets by Scott Ford. Shot is up and good.
Beautiful work by Usay there. He had RMU players all over him there. Able to reach out of the crowd and throw that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adding on to their lead here, 9 points. It's hard to believe after we just saw such a close game that OSU would build almost a double-digit lead here.
Cross out the Fontaine, goes for the three again. That one off the mark. Fontaine driving the lane off his own rebound, still doesn't want to go. Williams on the third attempt finally gets it to go. That right there is an example of why offensive rebounds are so critical in a game like this.
Yeah, and it's something RMU's really going to have to hope that they get, because you're going to need these massive rebounds whenever you're trying to get yourself back into this game here.
Close through the double team, gets it to go.
Fontaine
Nice
tried to throw the hand up there, and there was just not much he could do. He just whiffed it there. Close threw up a beautiful layup.
Referee giving a general announcement to both teams here saying, hey, stop yelling at us about the and ones. I think it was just a general warning to both benches saying, like, hey, let us do our jobs, you do your job. Don't be worrying about what we're doing. I think they're going to issue maybe a technical to Ahmed Diop for protesting more on the bench about what the referee was just saying.
Yep. Apparently 00 was talking to one of his talking to the player beside him there about it, and refs heard him talk up, and they are not going to have it.
Bristol's first shot up and good, and got to imagine the one thing you don't want to do if you're Ohio State is give Jaden Bristol free throw opportunities. Second shot up and good.
And RMU's going to retain possession. This is big for RMU. You turn that 9-point deficit down to 7 here.
And potentially down to 5 or 4 by the end of this possession. That could be a huge swing in momentum. Chris Charles taking the floor for the first time this game as well. Good to see him back. I know he was stretching out his calf a little bit earlier. Jaden Bristol with the ball now. Down low to Charles. Looking for room. Has the pick from Williams, decides not to use it. Cross cutting through the lane, feeds it back to Bristol. Bristol back to Charles. Looking what he wants to do with it. Taking his time, backing down Thomas Jones in the post, but feeds it back to Bristol up high. Bristol once again wants this opportunity, gives it back to Charles. Charles driving the lane for the shot, and it's in. You know, they really wanted that opportunity in the low post there. They liked the matchup of Chris Charles and Thomas Jones, and on the third try, they got it to go.
And that play right there was just a clinic of how to take your time and not rush it.
Absolutely.
And it pays off. And that's a 4-point swing there on a massive mental mistake.
And then speaking of swings, Elijah Cross just lobs that one up from the free throw line. Nice deep two for Cross. And out of nowhere, it's a 3-point game.
Yeah. It's little mental mistakes like that by Dio that's gonna swing RMU back into this game.
USA went up, and they're going to call a shooting foul there on Elijah Cross, I believe. And you could tell the palpable reaction because everyone was kind of shocked.
Yeah, I don't think he really even messed up the shot very much. I don't think it was going to go in to begin with.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But a nice break for OSU.
USA's first shot up and off the mark. Not what you want to see if you're on the Buckeyes bench there.
Yeah, you want to keep this lead as long as possible. And it's one possession right now. This could make it 2 if he gets it here.
USA looking for shot number 2 here. Up and good. Makes that one at least. 4-point advantage right now for the Buckeyes after had been as high as 9 just a couple minutes ago. Jaden Bristol's going to bring it down the court for RMU, looking to make something happen.
And Ahmad Diop is back in for OSU as well.
Well, nice punted ball there from USA. Kicked it right up into the hands of DeJuan Williams, but, you know, this ain't soccer. Or I guess you couldn't even do that in soccer either because Williams caught it.
Yeah, I think these guys need to understand that you're not supposed to be using your feet to touch the ball. Your
Eh.
feet are just for running on the court.
It's not from stopping him from trying, dude. He's been cutting off a lot of good opportunities. And I think, honestly, it's been working out as far as taking away A-plus opportunities on both ends, because we've seen Fontaine do it, too. As Cross goes for 3 off the step back, can't get it to go, but Williams with a nice rebound. Gets home the lay-in. Wow, nice little 1-2 punch there from Cross into Juan Williams.
Yeah, and you keep talking about rebounds here. Offensive rebounds like that is what is going to get RMU back into this.
As they now only find themselves trailing by 2. As the deep shot there from Carson Felicity. Wide open attempt. Nothing but net.
Yeah, we saw Felicity get hot on those threes earlier, and that one was a deep 3, and that didn't even touch rim. That was all net. Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely. Cross now up at the point, tries using the pick from Charles. Another step back 3 off the rim. Scott Ford couldn't quite get the rebound, and they're going to call him with the jumping foul.
It's back to 5 points again. RMU trying to dig themselves out of this deficit. 6 minutes to go here. Usei for Ohio State's got the ball. He crosses midcourt. He's going to try and bring it in. He passes it out to Diop. That goes to Close. Back out to Usei. Usei's going to pass it out to, I'm not sure who that, oh, that was Felicity, who I was just talking about earlier, makes another big 3 for them to stretch this lead back out.
He's had a couple of prime opportunities for it, and he's not missed in the past couple minutes when he's had those chances.
And once again, RMU is staring down an 8-point deficit.
They're going to say that was a push on somebody.
Looked like number 10, looked like Close.
If I'm RMU, I think one thing you should focus on with how short the OSU bench is, try and see if you can get a guy like Nicholas Close in the foul trouble as he's subbing out right now, because he has been so good, especially offensive rebounds, to give OSU this lead early in game 2 here. I'd imagine the less you could have him on the court, the better your chances would be for RMU.
Yeah, you want to really shut him down. And the other thing you got to worry about, though, is with Close coming out, Felicity becomes a bigger star here, and he's got 2 clutch threes already, and we've seen him not having any trouble with them.
Yeah, Charles went for the baseline jumper there, couldn't quite get it to go. Diop for 3 now, off the back of the rim and out, and Chris Charles tried saving it. I think they're going to say he stepped out, and that's a lot of, when the spectator seating so close to the court, it gets really hard to keep those balls in bounds.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for both sides today, and it's rearing its ugly head again.
You betcha. Just over 5 minutes to play in the first half here. Ohio State up 31-23. Already more points than OSU had at the end of the first half. As Diop had a wide open 3 and missed it, and then Bristol's going to get called with a foul there, I think, for pushing off on Schulman.
Yeah, and Schulman's going to go to the line for this. Trying to add to this 8-point lead here and make it double digits.
Schulman shooting 2. First shot up. No, no, it is good. Went off the back of the rim, but went straight in. Got a little too overzealous on the call there. An opportunity to make it a 10-point game right here is the second shot off the front of the rim and out.
Almost a massive turnover there by Williams to Greening.
Yeah, and Greening realized the opportunity he had because he went back saying, oh, how did I miss that? But here comes Elijah Cross with the ball now. He's been the driving force of RMU's offense here in game number 2 as Charles goes up for the floater and he's fouled, and that's a pretty obvious one.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 for him going to the line here as they're down 9 right now. 4.5 minutes left.
I believe one of the teams called time. I want to imagine it's probably Ohio State who called the timeout there.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you're RMU here, what do you think that they can do to get themselves back out of this?
Well, I think it just starts with converting on your chances on offense. I think they're forcing opportunities a bit too much. You got to find a bit of an easier bucket to make, even if you're not going for like the 3s or the and 1s. Even if you're only going for like some like the closer mid-range jumpers or the lay-ins. just find a way to start consistently putting points on the board offensively. As on defense, I mean, a lot of it just still comes to boxing out, getting the rebounds, because that has been the main catalyst for Ohio State's lead here in Game 2, has been the number of offensive rebounds. And they've been better about it, I would say, in the past several minutes of this half. But to start with, in the first, 5, 7, 10 minutes of the first half here, that was the real killer that got the Buckeyes out to this lead in the first place.
Yeah. And I'd say if you're RMU, you want to force fouls here. OSU is at their 7th foul. So from here on out in this half, RMU is going to be getting 1-and-1s at least on every foul. So you're going to want to force it here. You're going to want to try and apply pressure, make them break, and get those points, and get those and try and get those free throws.
Absolutely. Chris Charles stepping in to take the free throws here, with an opportunity to cut the lead down to, I believe, 7. Shot is up and good from Chris Charles to start with. It's Charles, Cross, Bristol, Williams, and Scott Ford out on the floor for RMU right now. Diop, Felicity, Schulman, Greening, and that is Ross Cottenham on the floor for OSU.
There's now a 7-point game as we get down to 4.5 minutes here. RMU is going to be playing some high-pressure defense, trying to force the turnovers.
Schulman feeds it over to Diop. Covered well by Elijah Cross. Had an opportunity there on the 2-on-1 to find the open man, Schulman, but couldn't get there quick enough. Feeds it to Diop. Cross still on him. They've switched over to a man-to-man defense, I think, or at least closer to it, except for Williams down low. Deep 2. Can't get it to go. Scott Ford gets the rebound and is able to hold on to it.
Nice work by RMU there to keep them off the board on that.
Scott Ford gets, I believe, fouled with the push-off there. Coach Williams liking what he sees right now, liking the increased chatter, the increased energy from his guys. I think they got a lot of that out of that timeout. I think they just needed to kind of regroup and get onto the same page again with Scott Ford now, with the possibility to cut the lead down to 5.
Up and good.
RMU's looked a lot better from the free throw stripe so far in Game 2. I wouldn't say they're perfect, but they've been converting more than they've been missing.
Yeah, I'd say both teams have gotten it together here now. They've figured out this free throw line, and Scott Ford sinks his second one here and cuts it down to 5.
Here comes OSU. Diop looking for somewhere to go with it. Feeds it down low to Greening. Greening doesn't know what to do with it, so he drops it back to Felicity. Charles all over him. Schulman nearly loses it, gets it back out to Greening down in the corner. Feeds it down low to Cottenham, and Scott Ford just didn't realize he was behind him.
Yeah, that was just a big miss by Scott Ford there. Didn't even see Cottenham slither behind him.
Oh, Chris Charles tried going for the spin, but the ball didn't end up where he was, and it's going to just trickle out of bounds. Not an opportunity you want to see go by the wayside if you're the Colonials.
Yeah, that 2-point swing could come back to get them here at the end of this half.
Greening looking for somewhere to go, and Cottenham was able to save it, and the refs are saying he was still in when he made the save. Cottenham over to Felicity for 3 off the side of the rim and out. Elijah Cross now with a whole head of speed. He's got Williams with him. Cross driving the lane off the rim. Pace really picked up now as teams are trading fast break opportunities. Schulman tries going down low to Felicity, and he had to pull up to not go head first into the bleachers down there.
Yeah, that could have been big for them here. He gets that. It's a 9-point game. They miss it here. RMU can't try to answer back here. Cut it back down to 5 again, as RMU has been slowly getting themselves out of this 9-point deficit here since the midpoint of this half.
Yeah, they've done a good job to kind of to stop the bleeding, I'd say, but now it's a matter of getting back on the attack here. Scott Ford looking with a place to go. Nice little spin move there. Deep 2 attempt off the mark. Rebounded by Schulman, who will take it the other way with some speed. Schulman back to Diop. Diop looking with a place to go. Bristol's all over him, though. They're going to say that was a push on, I don't know. They said 0, but they're both 0. I think that was on Jaden Bristol.
Yeah, it was on looked like it was on Bristol.
Going to be a throw-in opportunity for Diop. Throws it over to Schulman. Schulman still looking for a place to go with it. He's double teamed now. Tries to get into Scott, or he tried to get into Felicity, but Scott Ford stole it, and then Bristol nearly got the steal, but just dribbled it on the sideline there.
And you could see Bristol's frustration with that. He knew he had the breakaway too, and just couldn't gain possession of the ball.
Yeah, it started with a nice play from Scott Ford to try and pick off the pass. It was kind of a 50-50 ball that got away from both him and the OSU player. Bristol was able to pick it up right at the sideline, but the first dribble he had with it went right off the black line. Felicity with it now. Looking for a place to go. Drop it down to Cottenham for the pull-up 2, and he gets it in.
Yeah, you see Cottenham become an issue here as he's been able to sneak around the guys and get easy shots here, getting these easy 2s that are adding up for OSU.
Absolutely. Which, oh, nice play from Jaden Bristol to draw the foul. He'll be going to the line for 2. Back to Cottenham, though. You'd think for a guy that tall it'd be hard for him to sneak around like that, but he's had a couple of opportunities like that today.
Yeah, he's been pretty light on his feet for somebody with a height like that. And if you're RMU, you're getting a lot of these free throws, but you got to make sure you want to try and get those shots in there as Bristol makes the first one and just make it an and 1 and add that extra point on there and make it 3 instead of the 2, because they keep getting these 2 free throws, and then OSU just answers right back, and they're not getting themselves anywhere out of this deficit.
That is true, but when it comes to this, the player fouls are going to hold on to the second half as Bristol does make his second free throw attempt to 2 there. You got to imagine that OSU's got to be careful with already 19 fouls in this one. That's going to add up if they try doing this again in the second half.
Yeah, true. When you only have 8 players, 9 fouls is a pretty massive amount, especially when it's being called on the same players, on the same handful of players.
Yeah. Felicity with a place to go, drops it to Schulman, who pops up for 3 off the rim. Cross flying down the court now. Bristol's with him. Cross trying to drive the lane. I don't know how they didn't call that a foul, but they are going to call that a jump ball, I believe. Yep, jump ball.
Jump ball, and that's going to be RMU. Possession arrow is pointing at RMU right now. Yeah, red ball.
Ref saying red ball, so RMU will win the jump ball opportunity there.
And
arrow will flip to the other side, so the next jump ball will be Ohio State's. But Scott Ford with a chance to inbound here and get the Colonials up over 30 for the half.
And this could be really important for them here, as they're probably going to only have this possession and maybe one more to end this half here.
Chris Charles just does enough to hold on to the ball there. And Coach Taylor Williams calling the timeout there, making sure that his players weren't in a tough spot to lose that possession.
Yeah, you've got the timeouts. You might as well use them here. Keep that possession going, as it's down to 50 seconds here. You're down to 7. This could be a big, important play for them here.
You got to imagine, I think part of the conversation is, you're not going to get all these points back before the half. But the more you can cut into it, the easier the climb will be for the second half.
Yeah, we saw RMU down 3 here at the half in the first game, and they were able to come back and keep it close and pull away for the win. And if they could get another few points here and cut it down to 3 again, get 2, a defensive stop, and then another 2, and make it 3, you could see another close second half out of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go, 50 seconds left on the clock. Looks like the team's about to break the huddle here. See any substitutions for RMU? Nope, it'll be still Scott Ford, Cross, Bristol, Williams, and Chris Charles.
And you have to imagine Charles is going to throw it in. And if I'm RMU, you might want to try and feed Elijah Cross, as he's been your big point getter here.
Yeah, he has. I would also like to see them try and find a way to get DeJuan Williams more involved offensively. We've seen him put up double-digit point games before here, but he's been kind of quiet offensively so far this afternoon. I think if they could get him involved down low, that could be a huge addition to the depth of the Colonials offense.
Yeah, RMU's
spin move off the rim. Chris Charles with a nice little spin move to back off of Schulman, but couldn't get the shot to go. Greening over to Felicity. 17 reading on the clock in the NAC here. Felicity probably going to be content just to drain this down to the final possession of the half. Over to Diop, who pops up a quick 3 off the rim and out. Scott Ford with 5 seconds on the clock. Down the cross, who will go for the lay-in, and that'll beat the buzzer. 36-31 will be the score going into the half. Not entirely new territory. RMU was trailing by 3 at the end of the first half in the last game. They ended up with a 5-point win. This time now trailing 5 at the half. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, you never know. Lots of big lead changes in the first game and in this game, and we saw them all collapse. So RMU could easily get themselves back into this. If you look at it, the first 10 minutes, right after that, there was a small gap where OSU was able to put together massive points and build that 9-point lead. And then since then, it's only really been fluctuating as like a 3-point lead for them. If you're RMU, you've got to be happy turning that 9 into a 5 at the end of this half, as both teams have been playing pretty much even here in the last 9 minutes.
Absolutely. We're going to go to a brief intermission. It's saying there's 2:30 on the clock before we come back for the second half of our final game of the afternoon. So we'll see you in about 2.5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back for the final half of NCBBA action today. Game 2 of 2 between the RMU Colonials and the Ohio State Gray Buckeyes. OSU, despite being ranked 9th in the country right now, and was undefeated in conference play until just this afternoon, as RMU picked up the win in Game 1, 69-64. Buckeyes currently leads 36-31 at the end of the first half of Game 2 here. And Jordan, what do you think we got to see from the Colonials to get back into this one?
I think we got to see a lot more of Elijah Cross. He's got 13 points in this half, and you got to keep him hot and going. He got that clutch 2-point layup there at the end of the first half to cut it down to the 5. After RMU had a breakaway with about 5 seconds left on the clock.
Well, it looks like it'll be Ohio State's ball to start the half here, and they feed it over to Diop to get this one back underway. Diop looks to take it into the corner, decides against it over the Felicity for the 3. Quick shot there and does not go. Definitely could have been a big momentum swing if Felicity got that like 10 seconds into the half.
Yeah, would have been a big game changer for them here.
Solomon feeds it over to Charles. Drops it back to Elijah Cross. Cross looking at what he wants to do. Decides to back out. Drives by Nicholas Close. Can't quite get the lay-in to go. He's just a little too far away.
Yeah, he kind of turned to a running back there trying to get that layup.
Well, we've seen his flag football exploits well. As the shot there from Felicity once again doesn't go in. He's lost the hot hand that he had in the middle of the first half, Jordan.
Yeah, definitely cooled down a little bit here. But if you're OSU, you're kind of liking it right now. Everybody on your team is passing around the ball and getting their hands on it. And if you're going to win this game, they kept the ball spread out with their team points-wise in the first half. And you kind of want to keep that going.
While you were saying that, a long stretch pass to Nicholas Close reopened the lead to 5 as Solomon banks into 3. And now we only have a 2-point game.
Yeah, Solomon quickly went from 0 points to 5 in this game with a quick 2 and a 3.
Yeah, he's really coming out firing here in the second half of this one. Diop tries feeding it down low to Jones. Jones now backing down Elijah Cross. Doesn't know what to do with it, so he picks it out to Usa. Usa with the shot and close goes in. Both teams making a lot of shots here to start the half.
Yeah, they are not having much trouble here getting the points, as they've only had one shot miss on each side so far, not turning into points. RMU's offense here, Cross with the ball, passing it out to Bristol. Bristol commanding the court. A block thrown by Williams. He's going to take a deep 3. Bounces out, and that's recovered by Jones.
Yeah, I like the look there from Bristol. Just couldn't quite get it to go as the long pass ends up with Nicholas Close, nearly ended up in the high seats.
Yeah, Nicholas Close almost getting another deep pass, too. Just couldn't get his hands on it, just out of his reach.
Solomon will bring it down the court here for the Colonials. An opportunity to really make this game close. Another 3 attempt off the rim and off.
I was just about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if he kept that one and took it himself, as he did take that 3.
Right. Jones tries feeding it down low to close, pitches it up, doesn't get it to go. Good defense there from Williams. As here comes Sullivan driving down the court with some speed. Driving the lane, lays it in, just cutting through the defense like a hot knife through butter.
And Solomon has cut it down to 2 here. Once again, Diop having no luck.
About to say, nice move from Diop to even get off the shot, but Bristol defended him really well. Ball out of play off the hands of Jaden Bristol. Will be the Buckeyes ball.
Yeah, and speaking of Diop, Diop's only got 3 points in the game. That's quiet from his first game. He dropped 15, and now he's down to 3.
Yeah, he had a couple of really big threes in game 1 when that game was getting down the stretch. We'll have to see if he gets hot in the back half of game 2 here. Right now it's Felicity with the ball. Carson Felicity out against Elijah Cross. Feeds it over to Jones. Feeds it down low to Usa. Rezi Usa looking what he wants to do with it. Tries driving the lane. Pulls up for the shot. Doesn't get it to fall. Solomon with the rebound.
Solomon's having quite the start to this half here. He's got probably 3 rebounds at least, and he's got 7 points.
And 1 ball out of bounds.
And they're going to say that went off of close.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, they're going to say it went off of close. They're going to give it to RMU.
So 0 balls then out of bounds still for David Solomon.
Yeah, I mean, OSU did a great job of ripping it out of the hands of Solomon and getting all ball there. Just unfortunate for them that it went off a close.
Absolutely. Jaden Bristol now. RMU looking at a possibility to either tie or take the lead in this for the first time since like 15 minutes to go in the first half. Charles feeds it back to Cross for 3. Drains it. Big time 3, Elijah Cross.
That is shmoney right there as RMU takes the lead back after being down 9. This is what you want to see out of RMU, a strong start.
We had talked earlier, Jordan, about we had seen OSU come back from 7, 8-point deficits. Could the Colonials do something similar? It may have taken them a little bit longer, but they have found a way to do it so far.
And they're going to call a foul on RMU there for the reach-in. I didn't particularly catch who that was. It was either Franklin or Solomon, one of the 2.
Bit of an interesting look on the court here for RMU. You've got Bristol and Cross up at the guard positions, but then you've got Charles, Franklin, and Solomon, 3 bigger players. That's an obvious charge there.
Yeah.
Jaden Bristol just stood there and took it.
Sometimes you got to take a hit like that to draw the foul.
Yeah, really nice play. He just set his feet and said, all right, you can try running through me, but it's going to be your loss, and their loss it was.
Yeah, and a big shutdown to finally slow down close a little bit there as he has been on fire for them.
Yeah, one thing that is known, charging fouls still count as player fouls, which I think means he's starting to get a little higher up there. That's probably his 2nd or 3rd this game. Because I do remember he had a shooting foul earlier in the first half. Bristol over the Charles. Charles looking at what he wants to do. He's being covered by Schulman right now. Pitches it over the Bristol. Tries getting through the double team. Feeds it over the Bristol. It's back to Charles. And he went down low for Solomon, who just couldn't quite get a handle on it.
Yeah, if Solomon would have gathered that in, you'd have to think he was going to be able to get it in because he had that OSU player to his back. And far enough away, it would have been a layup.
Or if nothing else, maybe a potential shooting foul.
Yeah.
Regardless, nothing for it for the Colonials. And now it's Schulman on the attack for the Buckeyes. Feeds it over to Gabriel Greening. Pitches it over now to Felicity Diop with the deep 3 off the rim and out. Nice little ball movement there from OSU. And a nice catch from Cross on the fast break. And can't get it to go, but a nice attempt there. This game now back and forth at high speed as Usa tries driving the lane, and he does. Solomon not slowing down at all. Feeds it to Franklin, who's at least able to keep it in, and pitches it back to Bristol. And I think they're going to have to set up a little bit now. Feeds it down low to Solomon. Solomon looking at what he wants to do. Gets around the defender, and they're going to say that was a push.
Yeah, he wrapped around him there, gave him a little tug. I don't really know if that was really a push-off there, but they're going to call it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the ref was right there. Diop looked right at him and said, dude, are you kidding me? And I guess the ref said, no, you got a point.
Yeah.
Well, 14:40 to go in this one. OSU up by a point after leading by as much as 9 in the first half. I don't know exactly what happened, but Danny Ritchie has shoved into this game, and he was on Felicity there before that ball went over the USA.
I think he showed up after that last play there.
USA over to Greening.
Almost a great steal there by Charles.
Just about, but not quite able to get a hand on it, and OSU will still hold on to the ball. It's Diop now into the corner for Schulman. Schulman still looking, gives it over to USA. USA takes it back, guarded by Bristol. Tries a deep 2 off the rim and out. Here comes Elijah Cross with it now for the Colonials. Cross trying to drive the lane. Doesn't go, but I think they're going to call a shooting foul.
Yeah, they're going to call it on.
I think they're going to call it on USA.
Yeah.
It's either USA or Greening. I saw the 2 from the ref. I don't know if it was a 3 or a 5 on the other hand, though. Regardless, it will be a throw in here. Keith Franklin will get the ball in, so I guess it was a ground foul. Tried to go into to Charles, who went for the 3 immediately. Didn't go, but RMU does get the rebound, and Cross will give the Bristol to set up. Ritchie looking for the 3. Oh, and he drained it.
That is beautiful. Absolute money by Ritchie. His first shot of the game, and it is all net 3. RMU take the lead back with 2 here. And the bench is lively after that one.
Yeah, it forces OSU into a timeout. And I think a very conveniently timed one for OSU, as that really got the RMU bench fired up. They seem to really get fired up whenever Ritchie makes a deep 3 like that.
Yeah. You don't see many points out of Ritchie, but when Ritchie takes his shots, they're usually 3s, and most of the time they're going in, and clutch 3s out of Ritchie once again to get this lead back for him here.
Yeah, it's saying 13:36 right now on the clock. RMU with a 2-point lead. I think that's probably their largest lead since it was 5-3.
Yeah, they've had a 2-point lead. They had a 1-point lead earlier in this half, and yeah, they've just been fighting with OSU to try and gain some ground on them here. And that clutch 3 by Ritchie, giving them a much-needed cushion here.
Yeah, and I believe the Colonials know what's at stake in this one. They know that the win over OSU already is huge for them in not only their conference standings but the national standings. But to pick up a sweep against a team that's in the top 10 in the country could catapult you well into the top 25 rankings, I have no doubt.
Yeah, you've got to imagine if you beat number 9 twice, that it's got to put you somewhere in the top 25. There's no way. Especially when you beat them by 8 in the first game and hold them under 70 for the first time in conference play this season.
Yeah. Right now, it's only a 2-point game. Still could very much go either way. We've seen both teams open up big leads throughout this afternoon and then have it collapse in front of them. Schulman will be bringing it down here for the Buckeyes. Looks to make a move. Gets by Bristol. Drives the lane, and that ball's poked away. It's going to say it's Elijah Cross protesting and went off of Schulman's knee. But regardless, they did turn away a pretty good opportunity from Schulman as that paint was wide open.
Yeah, Cross, great jab in there to knock it loose. And he was pretty adamant about that knee work there, but they're not going to give it to him. Diop thought about taking the 3 there. He's going to juke him out. Drop back. He's going to go inside the paint, and they're not going to draw a foul on that. It's going to be gathered up by Charles. Charles is going to take it to the other end.
They were saying that was an all-ball steal from Chris Charles down the far end, and then they're saying it's a jump ball here. But I do think it was a jump ball goes in favor of OSU, if I think correctly.
It goes in favor of RMU.
Oh, does
it? That was a ground possession. So the tick was on RMU, so it's RMU's ball.
Gotcha.
Almost turned the ball over again on the deep pass. Ritchie, he's going to take another 3 here. Off the rim, RMU able to regather it there after some bumpers.
Yeah, I'm about to say Bristol went for a spin, but he was able to help Chris Charles pick it up. Speaking of Charles, he's got the 3 opportunity, and it goes off the rim. But the rebound's still loose, and they're going to call something, I think, on Danny Ritchie.
Yeah, they're going to say a little push-off there on Diop for Ritchie. I think he was kind of shocked by it. I didn't really see much contact, but they're going to call it on him, and it's going to be OSU's ball after all that fanfare.
Yeah. one thing I want to go back to is how Jaden Bristol was willing to put his body on the line for that one loose ball. He ended up looking like a Beyblade out there spinning around. Jones for a deep three, completely off the mark, didn't even hit the rim.
Yeah, and it's been quiet on both sides here. We've gone through a couple minutes here without any points scoring.
Yeah.
Still at 44-42. And Bristol's going to draw the foul. They're going to call it on 0. They're going to call it on Diop here.
Yeah, Jaden Bristol, the moment that happened, he went down, looked at the ref, and was like, come on, man. And the ref was like, no, don't worry, I got you. I saw it. Jaden Bristol shooting 2.
Trying to add on the lead here. It's up.
And
And
off
no
the rim.
good.
I think that might be the first one of the afternoon that he's missed.
Yeah, first one or one of the few here. Trying to make it a 3-point game here and make it so that even if they make a 3, it's going to be a tie game. So he gets ready here. Throw it up, and it's good.
Good job to quickly regroup there for Jaden Bristol to make that that one sink home. As it'll be Schulman bringing it up for the Buckeyes.
And it has been quite the strong defensive showing here. These teams have not been putting up a lot of points at all. From what the half was, a deep 3, bounces in and out. And they're going to call 33 on a ground foul here.
It's going to be Keith Franklin. He's kind of laughing about it. I think it's because he knows. He's like, well, got me there. So it's going to be inbounded from Thomas Jones back to Schulman. Fires it low to Usa. Doesn't know where to go with it. And he, for lack of better words, he just got sandwiched going up for that shot.
Yeah. Cross throws the block, but Bristol just was behind him, and there was nothing much they could do, and it draws the foul. And that's going to be 2 throws here as Bristol has picked up a quick 2 fouls here. And Usa's going to throw up the first one, and it's good.
They're trying to sub off Jaden Bristol right now for Mari Fontaine, and Bristol needed a second to hear what was going on. He was talking to someone in the crowd. But Fontaine has subbed in for Bristol now.
Yeah, that's a smart move by RMU's coach there. Yeah, he's gotten quite the foul count up here, and you're going to need him for late in this game.
Yeah, especially with how reliable he's been with the free throw shooting, especially if it comes down the stretch like it did in the last game. Elijah Cross with it now for RMU, looking to advance their 1-point lead as he just pulls up from 3 and it gets it in.
Absolutely beautiful. That is cash money right there from Elijah Cross.
You know, I think the analytics would say that was not a great idea for a shot attempt with how close the defender was to him, but Cross said, doesn't matter, I got this.
No, that was definitely not a high percentage throw, but it's Elijah Cross, so of course he's going to make it.
Fontaine covering Usa. Usa tries throwing it up, and he will get fouled, I believe, by Fontaine.
Yeah, Bristol's sub Fontaine is going to keep up his family tradition there and get another foul. And
oh, as far as he came in for Bristol.
Yeah,
okay.
He came in for Bristol. Bristol came in with 2, and they subbed it out there. And
my brain needed a second to figure out where you were going with that one. But, yeah, no, whoever's been playing that role up in the guard spot is just they've not been having a great time in the past 4 or 5 minutes here.
So Usa knocks down the first one here, cutting it back down to a 1-possession game. Looking to cut it down to 2 here with this one. And it is off the rim and in.
48-46 to score, 11:14 to go on the clock. We've so far, I mean, we're not done yet, but through, what is this, like most of the day this afternoon, we've been treated to some really, really close basketball.
Yeah, we've been treated to a great 70 minutes of basketball here out of both sides, and they're going to call.
Looks like an elbow or a push-off, I think, on Thomas Jones.
Yeah, I think so, 34. That's Cottenham.
Oh, they tried getting it out to Ritchie, but a nice hands from Gabriel Greening to pick that one off on the inbound. Jones with it the other way, trying to drive the lane, doesn't get it to go.
Great work by Ritchie there to throw the shot off.
And nice work from Cross to get the rebound, but still set up on offense. Looking to drive the lane, kicks it out to Fontaine for the wide open look, just shoots it light over the net.
Yeah, shoots it right into the hands of Cottenham as he throws it out to Jones. Back to Usay. Usay's going to throw it back out to Jones. Jones for the 3 here. Bricks it off, gathered by Charles, and they're going to call a travel on Charles. Charles really didn't have possession of the ball to begin with. I don't know how you call a travel on somebody who's bobbling the ball and doesn't have possession. But they do.
I'm not entirely sure either, but the ref isn't having anything. Anytime someone protested, he just said travel louder. We've had this particular referee, I think, for all 3 of the home games we've had. He's I want to say he's a bit of a funny guy as far as when he makes a call, like that's the call he's making. You're not changing his mind at all.
Yeah, he's a nice guy when he wants to be, and if you're going to question him, he is not afraid to say, "I am the ref. I call the game."
Yeah. As that shot off the mark there from Felicity, he after a couple of big threes in the first half has looked real quiet. Carson Felicity.
Yeah. Felicity's off and on. It was like that in the first game. He had a few moments there of really hotness in the first game as well, and then he's cold. It's just he's got to get that little flint there to light his steel and make a little fire spark there.
Williams over to Fontaine now. Looking for some room. Drives along the baseline. Tried getting it back to Williams, but that ball kind of got away from him. Down at the other end, the shot's in for Thomas Jones and seems to have landed a little awkwardly. He's kind of doing a little bit of a hobble back, but he seems fine now. Maybe just a temporary rough landing.
Yeah, and it's all tied up here. 9.5 minutes to go as Charles misses the layup. Usay coming back down the court here. He's going to pass it out to Felicity. Felicity's going to stand there. Some moving around out to Jones. Franklin applying the pressure here, 33 on 33. He's going to throw it in deep to Felicity. Felicity's going to get the easy layup.
Fontaine nearly went ladder climbing up to the top of the net trying to block that one, but alas, not going to do it as Felicity will put that one home. OSU reclaims the lead here, 50-48. Now just under 9 to play. Cross feeds it out to Fontaine. Down low to Williams. Williams with the spin, the shot off the back rim.
Another tough miss, RMU inside the paint. Cross made a little bit of contact with the ball on that one. And 33, Franklin's just going to let that go out of bounds and be RMU ball.
Yeah, I guess the refs will disagree with your assessment that Cross got a hand on it then if that's going to be RMU's ball.
I guess so.
But hey, you know, for the Colonials fans here in attendance, that's going to be the way you'd want to see it go.
Yeah, and it's a smart move by Franklin. It gives you a chance to switch some players out here and get Solomon back into this. Franklin's now coming off for Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon, Marquis Scott Ford, Williams, Chris Charles, and Elijah Cross currently on the floor for RMU. And Solomon will take it up to start this possession. Solomon looking to make something happen. Pitches it out to Williams for the 3. Off the rim and out. And Cross comes down with the rebound. Nice job there to get up, get vertical, and get that ball. Scott Ford with it now. Looks for some room. Pitches it down to Williams, who's going to find those handles with the ball and puts in the lay-in. Love to see that from DeJuan Williams.
Yeah, that was a deep bring back in. He was almost on the side of the court and had to lean back a little on that one to get it in there. Great work by him to tie this up.
We'll have to see if that generates more opportunities down low for him after a nice little put-up. Felicity, nearly stolen away by Solomon, but Greening's able to keep a handle on it. Felicity double-teamed toward the corner now. Looking for room, just threw it out. No, I think they called a timeout.
Yeah. OSU called timeout. That was great work by RMU's defense as well. Solomon went for the steal. He didn't get it, and he was out there in no man's land, and they were able to shift the defense there and keep them from getting an easy open shot.
Absolutely. 50-50. 7.5 to go in this one. Both teams really digging down deep here. I mean, It's tough enough to play one game of basketball at this level, but to play back-to-back ones, it really tests how much you've got in the tank.
Yeah, you've got to be feeling it right now in your legs. Just all this running up and down the court. We're at 75 minutes of game time here.
Just about.
Yeah, and it's not even that it's been even just a long game. They've been physical. They have been at it with each other. OSU had 9 fouls in the first half, maybe 10 in the first half, and they've got 5 now. RMU had 5 or 6 in the first half and 4 now. They have not been afraid to foul each other, and
that's only building off of both of them ending up at 10 fouls in the second half of the first game. Like, there has been no shortage of contact.
No, they have not been afraid to go at it with each other, and I don't think that's going to slow down any as it continues to be tight. Since RMU's cut that lead down from 9 to nothing, it's back to a back-and-forth 1 or 2 point game.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tighter this game goes, the more willing people are going to be to try and take the body. As Williams with a big behind block on Nicholas Close.
Yeah, absolute big-time play right there. Shutting down Close and just telling him, not going to happen, man. You're not going to get those easy points off of us right now.
Yeah, Close looked like he got the extra step, but Williams was still in position just to swat that one away. As Close now back on Williams one-on-one. Looking down low, the Schulman, Bristol's on him. It's going to be a deep 3 attempt for Greening. Gets it to go. Maybe not necessarily a deep 3, but a deep shot nonetheless. Or no, they're going to say that was a deep 2.
Yeah, 2. He must have been right inside the line there.
Must have been. From my angle, it looked like he had both feet back, but maybe it was only the left foot that got behind the line. It's going to be Chris Charles with it now. Buckeyes lead by 2. Colonials looking to answer. Feeds it over to Sullivan. Sullivan over to Bristol. Bristol looking. Just throws it to Reziusa. I don't know what was happening there. That must have been a big miscommunication. And that shot's off the mark. Wide open opportunity for Felicity and just bricked it.
Yeah, and if you're RMU, you got to really hope they don't get anything out of this. That turnover, and OSU hasn't been able to do much with it.
Yeah, but RMU hasn't been able to get the rebound as that one goes off the front rim. Sullivan finally gets a handle on it. 3 shot opportunities there from OSU off the turnover. Nothing going. And Coach Taylor Williams is going to call a timeout here for RMU.
Yeah, after that bad pass by Bristol to no one but the court, OSU take it down. RMU's defense able to redeem themselves there and keep it from becoming a bigger deficit here as they're able to shut them down on 3 scoring attempts.
Yep. 6:03 left here on the clock here in the North Athletic Complex. The Student Rec Center, our venue today for club basketball action. We also see a fair bit of volleyball and pickleball up here whenever we stream inside this building. But right now, this has definitely been probably one of the best 2-game series that we've seen of any sport in this building so far.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. There was one game, it was a tight volleyball game, men's game. It didn't have RMU in it, and we were here, and it was Kent State and Slippery Rock, and that one went into like a 5-minute extra point. But outside of that, I would say arguably that this is definitely the best thing that I've seen here since when the D1 team was playing here.
Mm. And what's fun about these sort of games, if you ask me, is that any time we've had a club basketball game in here, it's never disappointed. Because their series against Dayton was high-flying. Last week against Xavier, just back-to-back nail-biters. And then a huge, dare I say, upset victory. I mean, RMU's a very good team, entering today 7-3 in the conference. But to knock off a team that was undefeated in conference play, huge. And speaking of huge, David Sullivan for 3.
Sullivan, big time right now. Clutch. Absolute clutch.
They're going to say that was a 2.
Oh.
So that's
definitely
back-to-back.
looked good to me.
Nope,
but
nope, they added the extra point. Okay. It's 53-52. The scoreboard was a little slow as Sullivan pulls up from 3 again.
Another 3 by Solomon. That is absolute cash right there. Gold bars coming from Solomon right now.
Out of nowhere, this game has opened up massively, and I think they still need to put one more point on the board.
Yeah, Solomon's got Midas's touch over here right now. Anything he touches able to turn to gold. I guess they're going to...
I think they're figuring out with the ref right now what they want to do.
Oh,
There
nope,
it is.
They're
Now
going to say the second one was a 3.
Yeah, well, I saw the ref indicate the field goal on the first one. I think the scorekeeper missed that one. But
Yeah.
it is 56-52. Out of nowhere, David Sullivan has just opened this game wide open.
Absolutely. Surgical precision right here from him as he is putting on a clinic right now on OSU. 10 points in the half.
6 in the past 30 seconds. As that shot from Nicholas Close is off the mark, you got to imagine they're going to be looking for Solomon here to maybe get a third.
Yeah, you're going to get Solomon open here on the side, and you got to feed him, you imagine.
Chris Charles figuring out what he wants to do with it. I think he's kind of keeping an eye out for Solomon. Charles trying to get back Felicity. Little crossover move. Goes up for the shot and doesn't get it to go, but he gets his own rebound, puts it home. Nice little effort there from Chris Charles. Not only to make the first attempt, but then to get in there, get the rebound in traffic, and put it up for the points.
Yeah, he is putting on the work right now, and that is a tough missed 3 there by Close. Solomon's got the ball. He's going to try and cash in again here.
Nice little crossover move on Close. Feeds it over the Bristol, who just keeps it in. Feeds it over to Scott Ford. You can tell the energy's picked up for the Colonials. And another 3, just off the rim from David Solomon. But you can tell they're feeling a little energized from that streak of points they were having.
Yeah, he's got a 6-point lead right now. And Solomon thinks, well, we got a 6-point lead. I might as well try and take these 3s if I got the chances here. Build this up. Diop's finally taking a first 3 in a while.
And that is off the top of the backboard, so that's not going to count as Williams comes down with the ball.
Yeah.
Regardless, rebound not going to count because that ball up and on top of the backboard.
Yep. Goes off the top there. They're going to call that out of bounds. Williams is going to let it into Bristol here. Solomon having a few words here with the coach, getting something, maybe a game plan here as he moves himself to the corner.
Under 4 minutes to play now. RMU up 6. Jaden Bristol looking to make a move. Feeds it out to David Solomon for the deep 2. Swish. Just money right now from David Solomon.
Yeah. Solomon cannot miss right now. 15 points in this half. That is absolutely insane for him right now.
Absolutely. He's been one of the Colonials' top scoring threats all season, and he's showing right now why that is the case, as Felicity is being hounded by Jaden Bristol. Nowhere for him to go, and it's getting the bench fired up because they know Bristol's putting in the work on defense. Felicity, though, answers right back with a 3 of his own.
And like we've seen before, when Felicity gets hot, Felicity is able to make anything he chooses. And if you're RMU, you're hoping that's not starting.
Ooh,
as Felicity thuds into the bleachers. He seems to get up just fine.
And OSU will come down with the ball. Luckily, it seems like Felicity's all right. I think that was just a louder impact than what actually happened, as Felicity for 3 again off the rim, but Diop right there for the rebound for 2.
And just like that,
I said delay of game on White. That's a warning for something.
yeah. Well, they're going to call it on him, I think, because he threw the ball. They're going to call a delay game on him for that. And I couldn't catch it. One of the two calls a timeout here. 2.5 minutes left. RMU with a 3-point lead here. You want to hope that you keep the points going here. Diop's talking with the ref here about the delay game call, trying to figure out what that was for. They're explaining it to him right now. He didn't seem to like the call very much. I wouldn't either if I was in his situation. But
yeah, absolutely. But you know, as in the running narrative of this game and any game, you know, the reason the referees are there is to help officiate because they are the neutral party. So
yeah, and I would have to say the refs have called a pretty even game here. Every so often they miss one, but they're missing ones on each side. It's not like they're only missing calls that would benefit RMU.
Or just Ohio State, yeah.
It's been a pretty good called game, I would have to say, from the men down there in stripes.
Well, there's 2:32 on the clock here in the rec center. RMU with a 60-57 lead. Starting to get shades of last game here, Jordan.
Yeah, another close one that's going to come down to the wire here. We saw RMU with a late lead in the first game and ended up winning only by 4. I think we might see this again. Or winning by 5, I mean.
Yep, Elijah Cross will bring it down for the Colonials. Trying to get it organized, what he's looking for. Cross Feeds it over to Charles. Wheezy, as he's known, looking for an opportunity. Feeds it over to Bristol. Bristol, back to Charles. Chris Charles being covered by Felicity right now. Starts driving toward the lane, down toward the baseline. Brings it back out to Cross. Looked at the three, decided against it. Drives the lane, and no foul call, but no shot to go.
Yeah, it was
Cross.
Nice all-ball coverage right close there. As Diop's got the open three, and he just bricks it. Close gets it back into Diop, into Usay.
A big block from Solomon.
Solomon with shades of Antetokounmpo there.
Just went up, met that ball at its apex, and said goodbye. A minute 30 on the clock. All of a sudden, USA with the steal, trying to go the other way. Doesn't get it to go, but they are going to call a foul on Chris Charles.
And that's a tough break. Usay's ball, it didn't really interfere with it too much, and it rolled right back out. It may have been an easy recover by Charles, but unfortunately he draws the foul there.
Well, in that situation, I honestly think I would have done something similar to Charles. You know, he had a step on you. You can't bank on them missing the layup, despite how much they've struggled with layups this series. Probably just better to take the foul and make him earn the 2 points.
Yeah, and we've seen up and down, just like that, up and down makes by both teams on the free throw line. And you gotta, you'd have to agree. You take the foul, you only have 5 now. They're not close to they only need 2 more to get to the extra points here, so it's a minute and a half. You give up the foul and make them shoot the 2 and hope that they miss both. They missed the first one, and that second one is also out.
And he's still looking lined up. I'm trying to figure out did one of those not count?
One of them might not have.
Because I was about to say, that would have only been 2 shots for him, but USA for the attempt, that one finally goes. So he will get a point out of that. I'm not entirely sure why the third attempt was there. I'm guessing one of those wasn't legal. But Jaden Bristol bringing it across toward the center court here. Minute 15 left on the clock. Bristol trying to drive. Feeds it over to Charles.
And you gotta watch Usa here, as he's been able to reach in and get close to turnovers, and he's been putting up the points here. He's got the ball again. If I was him, he might take it.
Feeds it over the close. Flies in, tie game. Less than a minute to go. Boy, oh boy, here it comes. You can just feel the pressure in the air. Elijah Cross now, 45 to go on the clock. With the game as tight as it is, you're not going to really see a whole lot of fouling unless this gets into a multi-possession game.
No, they're not. You don't want to do anything. You do not want to give up points. You don't want to give up fouls.
Cross looks to drive in, loses the handle on it. Here comes Diop the other way.
Cross and chase.
Gets it to go
Diop
in.
Gets it.
And here come the Colonials now. 20 seconds to play. 62-60 the score. Charles looking to make a move. Tries driving the lane.
And they can't believe that the refs call nothing on that.
Unbelievable. Looks like Charles went down hard with that drive. They go the other way for the lay-in, and I think that's basically probably going to do it.
And that's going to be a tech on Charles there, as he gave him some extracurricular. He's going to throw him out, I think.
No, they're just going to, I think, call it there, unless that was a clock error. I'm not entirely sure. Pressure's riding high here. I'm not entirely sure. Refs are trying to figure out what's going on here.
There's still time on the clock. Charles couldn't believe that he didn't get the call there. He gave the ref a little bit of extracurricular down there on the court, and he's going to give him the tech. Yeah. So Usay's going to come up for threes here. 2 free throws here to pretty much ice this game.
So, yeah, this one's just about over. I think this is just a formality. Rezi Usa for the free throw there. First one's in and good. We'll open up to a 5-point lead. The only thing that I'd say really to play for at this point is that if USA makes this, OSU would have defeated RMU by more than RMU won the first game by. That's the only thing I can think of at this point.
Yeah.
Second shot up and good. And it's going to be the Buckeyes ball, I believe, and they'll probably just inbound it and call it a day.
Yep. And if you're Charles,
or they're having more technicals, more free throw opportunities here. Shot up, shot good. Some
he's
moments
got
like this,
one
we're almost
more.
kind of wondering, what's going on here. Like this game, all intents and purposes, is over, other than them just waiting for Rezi Usa to do some free throw practice. Another one to
And
go.
with that,
Now the
technical
ref has called it, I
and
believe.
the foul, Usa gets himself to 20 points on the game with 4 straight free throws to probably end this game.
Yep. Well, I believe.
And they're just going to call it.
Yeah, I think the final score of this one's, I think, supposed to be 68-60, but they didn't bother adding the last point on the scoreboard. Final score 68-60, I believe, in Game 2 after RMU's 69-65 win in Game 1. Overall, very tight series, and I still think this is going to be a huge win as a weekend for RMU. Obviously, they could have had both, but even to get one against a team that hadn't lost in conference play yet, you got to imagine it's going to feel pretty good.
Yeah, you got to feel great if you're RMU. You're frustrated that you kind of let that game get away from you here at the end, but you've got to be happy with the production you had by all around, not only in points getting, foul drawing, being able to just keep the game within reach. Unfortunately, it gets out of hand and you're unable to get back into it, but you've got to be happy with the result of the first game at least.
Absolutely. Jordan, who would you say is your MVP of the afternoon here? Who really wowed you today?
Who really wowed me today? I'd have to go with Usay. Because he got 20 points in this game and he got 13 in the first one, which is pretty great. I mean, they're a high-powered offense. RMU was able to shut them down, but they only scored 67 and 64.
Yeah.
But still, when you put up 33 of those points for your team, that's pretty great. On the RMU side, I'd have to go with probably Cross. Cross had 15 in the first game and 19 in the second, so
Yeah,
great work by him.
A couple of big-time offensive performances from players on both teams, but that's just about going to do it here for us here in the North Athletic Complex for this club basketball action between the Robert Morris University Colonials and the Ohio State Gray Buckeyes. This is the last club basketball, I think, for the year. I think this is their last homestand, so unless they had like a home playoff game here or something, we'd see them then. But I think they do it as like a neutral location sort of deal. So probably the end of club basketball for the semester for us. We'll still have some events in the future, though, although nothing to define date and time-wise. I know there's still a women's club volleyball tournament coming up, another pickleball match coming up, so maybe some roller hockey. So we'll still have some content for you down the stretch here, but this is the last of probably club basketball for the year. So on behalf of Jordan Wirtz, I'm Alexander Gagnon. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us today for this club basketball action, and we will see you next time.